I'm here today with producer and guitarist for Saturday Night Live, Jared Scharff, and he's a new Apollo user from Universal Audio. And we're going to get set up here and get some guitar tones going for you. So, Jared, what kind of amps do you like to play?
I love playing some good old vintage Fender amps or some Marshalls.
Okay.
Gotta love those things.
Okay.
I love diversity, so depending on the track, depending on what you gotta do with it, I like having different tones and reverbs and delays and things at your disposal to really create different sonic worlds.
Cool. Okay. Well, why don't we start out with the Fender 55 amp, which is Universal Audio's, where is it? It's here somewhere. 55 Tweed Deluxe. All right.
That would be amazing. I love that it reacts. You can keep it clean, like, you know, or you can really drive it.
You got some other options here too with microphones. Right now we have a 57 and a 121. There's other options right here to choose from. 421. You can put that off axis if you want, so we can see.
That's really cool.
There's also 67 in there, and then you also have the ability to obviously tweak the controls of the amp too, and you can select the inputs. So input 2 on the instrument side would be lower gain. Or, you know, we could jump the channels. So right down here, you'll notice on the microphone section there, I can, you know, blend those two mics together. So right now we have mainly the 57 and a little bit of the 121, but we could change that blend if we want. You could pan those as well. You can have one left, one right.
So you can get a stereo sound.
Yep.
So you can record one guitar in and have a stereo track, record a stereo track.
You can do that.
That's amazing.
That would require a little bit of configuration in Pro Tools, but it's possible to do. And this particular amp model has different speaker types. So there's the Jensen 12-inch. There's also JBL, which was, as I understand it, a popular speaker that people would use as an aftermarket addition to this amplifier.
That's
and
cool.
then also a greenback in there as well. And you have the different amp controls, tone, volume, etc.
Yeah. Looks great.
Do you want to check another amp out?
Yeah.
Or do you want to put some reverb on this one or something?
Yeah, let's see what else it can do. Like we got some nice barky sounds, some nice kind of clean. Let's see what we can get some vibiness with it.
Let's go to a different preset here. Let's try this one.
Oh. Oh yeah, you get that like that amp kind of like about to die because it's just being pumped, like killed. Ah, yeah. That sounds great.
The UAD platform is home to a multitude of different types of plugins. Obviously not all of them are geared towards guitar players, but some of the ones that are studio grade processors are fun to use on guitar as well. And we're going to show you right now using the AKG BX20 reverb. I'm going to set that up on an insert on my aux channel 1 here. So the AKG BX20. So as I bring up the send, So the benefit of having the auxiliary channel strips available to you in console is that you can use an effect such as this just for the purposes of tracking, like monitoring while you're tracking, if you don't want to commit that.
Yeah.
Or a comfort reverb for a singer or a vocalist or something like that. Or you also have the option to route the output of the auxiliary channel strip into another channel in your DAW and record that, which is what we just did just then.
I mean, that's amazing, because I mean, oftentimes, you want a dry sound, but you don't necessarily want to record bone dry because it's just kind of like lackluster sometimes. So being able to record that, well, you can put the sound, the effects on that you want, and then you can record that. And if you're still like, I still want it drier, you still have the dry tone there. You can mix the amount of level you want in the recording, or you don't have to use it at all. You could, and then like later on, you can be like, I want a slapback and not a nice shimmery like reverb or lush reverb like this.
Right.
To be able to have that opportunity is great. To still have that dry guitar, but play with something. Like, I think that's the key.
For sure. Yep. It really can help a performer get the most out of their performance. Because like you said, like sometimes recording bone dry is just no fun.
Yeah. Even if you want, like, oftentimes, like, I want something dry, but I'll always want to record with like a pedal, like a spring reverb or just something, because it's just so like, it's just not the thing, you know, when you're just like clean. And then oftentimes I'm like, I wish I didn't record with that spring reverb. Here you go.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. And you also have the option of inserting effects. You know, so we're using parallel processing there. We're running that out on an aux, but you can also insert effects in series. On the mixer, you have insert slots here for each channel. Same thing with that. You can commit that with the press of a button over here. So you can see on the screen, insert effects, UAD record, UAD monitor. So when this little light is blue and I have the monitor button selected here, that means that I'm only going to be hearing these effects in the insert slots. I'm only going to be hearing those when I'm recording. They're not going to be committed to tape. If I click this UAD record button,
and it's in red, like record.
Right.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. So do you want to check out another amp?
Yeah.
See what's available? Maybe.
Let's do it.
So we can go to the guitar and bass category here. We have.
Maybe we should check out a Marshall Plexi, maybe.
Yep. Here's the Marshall Plexi Classic.
Is maybe take off the reverb send.
Sure.
Just hear it like rock and roll. This one we might want to hear bone dry. Can you jump the inputs?
Sure. This channel. This has a channel strip over on the side here that's hidden, where different microphone types again, and you can kind of mix those out. It's got an equalizer. So there are a few different options for this plugin that you may not see on some of the others, but each of these guitar amp simulator plugins is, of course, designed to do the same thing. It's designed to take advantage of the Unison enabled input here, so it's matching the impedance of the amplifier, so it gives you that realistic playing feel, which is something that you commented on earlier.
Yeah.
But
that is so key. I hate playing with guitar plugins. It always feels like you're playing like a video game or something. Like there's a complete disconnect from the playing and like kind of the sound that's coming out. Whereas when you first pulled up that Fender before, I was like, I feel like I'm just like playing guitar. And even the response of the clean to dirty, especially with that kind of amp, like is right there in your fingertips and in your playing.
Right.
That's amazing. The touch sensitivity is fantastic.
For sure. Yep. So yeah, we have the inputs jumped here.
All right, let's see. Sick.
Right on. Each of these plugins has a set of preset tones as well that you can, if you're looking for something real quick, sometimes you can, find what you're looking for through there by just clicking on a preset, and it's gonna set up the.
Can we go through one or two?
Yeah, sure. So this is the rock rhythm preset.
Okay. Chunkier, fatter. Sick. All right. What else? Dazzle me with something else.
Okay. Fat, funky, dry. Let's try that.
Oh, wow. So on this one, let's take some bass out, crank some treble. I bet you, what's the mic scenario on this?
That's just a 57.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I pulled all the bass out there, cranked the treble up, gave you some mids and some
You don't need that
presence.
much bass in a track, let's be honest. It might be fun to play like solo and stuff.
Right, right.
Got to think about track.
Do you want to try one more?
Yeah. One more. What else?
Rock rhythm growl
Let's
or
try it.
nasty growly? Which one?
Nasty growly.
Okay.
Gotta try it. That's a good response.
Pretty cool for a plug-in, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty good response right there.
So we'll go back to a clean amp.
Okay.
And I'll show you that there are actually some models of pedals available on the UAD platform. So we'll insert an amplifier in the first insert slot. So we're not using it technically as a Unison enabled plugin, but let's pick maybe the Friedman Buxom Betty. It's got a pretty good clean.
Oh, that's a cool grill. I've never seen that.
Yeah. What we can do here in the Unison slot, I'll pull up the menu, and you'll notice that there's the ADA flanger. There's a fuzz pedal, the Bermuda Triangle fuzz.
Oh, I definitely want to try that.
We have a tube screamer. So we got a couple of like a raw, which is based on a rat.
Yeah.
TS overdrive.
Sick.
So let's take a look at the fuzz pedal in there.
We should maybe do the fuzz pedal into the flanger.
Okay, so then if you
Before we
want to
even
do
hear
that,
the fuzz pedal, just throw it in there.
let me move the amp down in the insert slot, and then we'll put the flanger in on the insert slot above.
There you go.
So you can set up essentially like somewhat of a pedal board rig with what's available there, and an amp, like a whole virtual signal chain.
That's really cool. Can we check out the PT100?
Sure. So I have the Sir PT100 on the Unison enabled slot, and let's take a look at this amp. It's a pretty interesting amp. 3 channels. You can select whichever one you want here using the various buttons, and there are also a bunch of presets here. So what would you like to hear?
Let's start with some presets. Let's go clean, and then like dirty, then crunch, crunch.
Okay.
Oh, and it's got a little delay on it?
This particular one has some delay built into it.
Oh, that's nice.
And then
I'll have to tell Pete that's great. I'm gonna tweet at him.
Each of these BrainWorks developed plugins also has recording chains that you can pick from here. So
oh, really?
There's a whole bunch of different cabinet options, and each one of these has a different microphone, and in some cases multiple microphones and preamps.
That's crazy.
You
that
can
they
see
did
the
all that.
info right here. It's going to tell you what the cabinet is, and
sick.
Yeah, and there's noise gate as well, which is really helpful if you're using a lot of gain.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You want to try another preset?
Yeah. That's so usable. Wow. So let's try Brat Rock Riff. That's pretty bratty. Nice. That's cool.
Something heavier?
Yeah, let's go edgy.
Edgy. Let's see.
Let's take this to the brink. PT lead. Yeah, let's go PT lead. No, I was assuming there would be some delay on this. That'll work.
So what do you think? You think it's a viable solution for a recording guitar player?
I mean, I could do tracks for days just on this stuff alone, like not even using pedals. That's awesome.
Cool. And then, of course, the other things that are, the other plugins that are available on the platform, you have like a 1073 console, you have a Helios console. Again, classic guitar sounds, you can overdrive those in here, and if you want to go direct and get your Revolution on, or
that's cool. I mean, I have a Kemper, and I use that often, especially when traveling, to have all my amp sounds in one place, because I don't bring a computer with me like to do sessions. And I always try to plug into a 1073 whenever there's one available. And one of the reasons why I was really interested in going to UA was when I did check out a 1073 with my Kemper once. I was doing a session for DNCE. I was doing a guitar session, and I remember like the producer, who's a friend of mine, Ito, was like, "Hey, like, why don't we check out like putting the 1073 like going in like with your Kemper?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, yeah." And I remember like he put it in, and I was like, "Oh damn, I'm gonna have to get this." So I was really into that whole thing, and I mean, I record all the time, and having like people with synths, or sometimes people will bring their own computer and laptop with like a MIDI controller, and they're coming in. I'm getting synth stuff from them digitally, but there's no analog. There's nothing warming it up. There's no like good preamps, like stuff like this. Not having to plug into analog gear, but still get that love. Is clutch.
For sure, and it's great to be able to commit those sounds too.
Yeah, no, I would only commit with like a 1073, like with a if a buddy was going stereo synth or mono synth in or whatever, like from his laptop to me to go into like my Apollo, I would put the 1073 in there, warm it up to where however I want it, and then commit. I wouldn't even.
Just like the old days.
Yeah, just like this makes it sound better and juicier and cool. All right, record, and that's it. Like that's part of the sound.
Right. Cool. And you can check all the UAD interfaces out at americanmusical.com. Thanks, Jared.